Annalisa, anytime.
Okay. Aloha, everyone. Welcome to this virtual ceremony for the inaugural Community Heroes Awards for Aiea and Pearl City. This is a collaboration between KANU Hawaii, a local grassroots organization with 20,000 members, and Senate District 16, which is composed of the communities of Aiea, Pearl City, and Lower Halava. My name is Annalisa Burgos. I'm an anchor and reporter for KITV Island News. It's so great to be with all of you today. It's my honor to serve as your program host this evening. Now, this entire week, we've been celebrating National Volunteer Week, and that was a proclamation made by President Joe Biden. And locally, KANU Hawaii has been on the forefront of coordinating all of these volunteer activities. They've run the gamut from beach cleanups, taro planting, to volunteering at food pantries. I had the pleasure of actually having them on our morning show to talk about this event last week. According to KANU's website, this year there were 231 events, 10,000 volunteers, and 198 partners who participated this week in Volunteer Week. And let's give a round of applause for that, everyone. That's just so awesome, especially considering that we are still in a pandemic, to be honest. So very good to see community service done on all levels. And tonight's ceremony is actually a culminating activity, the last event of the week's busy calendar. So we're going to take this moment to recognize two outstanding and deserving individuals who will be the first recipients of this honor, the Community Hero Award. And because of the pandemic, we have to do this virtually, but of course, we hope to see everyone in person in the future. And again, thank you so much for joining us today. Note that this video is being recorded and we will be posting this on YouTube as well as other social media outlets a little bit later. So to launch this event, allow me to introduce the person who is the brainchild for this inaugural event. She herself has been volunteering for more than 30 years in various organizations throughout the state. Please welcome Senator Bennette Misalucha for our opening remarks.
Thank you, Annalisa. Aloha, everyone. When President Joseph Biden proclaimed April 18th to the 24th as National Volunteer Week, he stated, "We are living in a moment that calls for hope and light and love. Hope for our futures, light to see our way forward, and love for one another. Volunteers provide all three." He said, "Service, the act of looking out for one another, is part of who we are as a nation." Quote unquote. How true. The spirit of service has another word here in Hawaii, and that is aloha. It is a value that will never go out of fashion. It was passed on to us by our host culture, albeit each of our ethnic groups have something similar to offer. This pandemic is both a challenge as well as an opportunity. What had COVID taught us? It taught us that we can choose to be kind. When the world literally stopped, we realized that what matters are relationships. Those last, they are eternal. COVID also taught us that there is joy in service. We find fulfillment in serving others in need. When faced with our own adversities, the best way to get out of the doldrums is to step outside of our selfish nature and serve others. The last lesson that COVID taught us is that change can start with us. Both of our winners embody the essence of volunteerism. They do things not because they expect to get anything in return. They inspire us with the unspoken promise that the best days for our community are ahead of us, not behind us. Congratulations to Claire and Elizabeth for your commitment to our community. We are blessed to have you in our presence. Aloha. Mahalo.
Mahalo, Senator. And we love hearing these wonderful stories of selflessness in the news as well. So I'm happy to be able to hear them. In Hawaii, of course, it's all about partnership. And the nonprofit organization that partnered with District 16 to make this all happen is, of course, an amazing organization, continues to gain support ever since it opened its doors more than 15 years ago. And here to speak on behalf of KANU Hawaii, please welcome its Executive Director, Keone Kealoha.
Hey, aloha kako. Thank you so much for having me on today. Yeah, just this is a great kickoff to this pilot that the senator has come up with, honoring folks in her area in Aiea and Pearl City. And we hope to replicate this next year for Volunteer Week, Hawaii. And hopefully we can enlist more of our representatives and our senators to take take the cue and maybe recognize volunteers and nonprofit organizations that are working in their community as well. So really appreciate the opportunity to be here today, and really looking forward to hearing more about our winners today, as well as the other nominees. Thank you.
All right, mahalo, Keone. Let's meet now the Aiea nominees, shall we? Let's hear from the amazing Representative Sam Kong, who's going to introduce the outstanding volunteers from Aiea.
I'll stand in for Sam Kong. I'm Councilmember Brandon Elefante, and aloha to all. Thank you, Annalisa. We appreciate the hard work of the volunteers done to make Aiea a better place to live, work, and play. The nominees for Aiea Community Heroes Award were Joffrey Kodiamat, nominated by Jean Albano, Dexter Aoki, nominated by Maureen Swanson and Wayne Suzuki, Mana Loa Nimitz Lion Club, nominated by Alan Miyamoto. We recognize their inspiring work of these volunteers, and we hope they will continue on their path of service. Back to you, Annalisa.
Thank you for stepping in, Councilmember Elefante. Now here to introduce the nominees for the Community Hero for Pearl City is Representative Roy Takumi.
Okay, I hope everybody can hear me. We also have an equally exemplary group of volunteers from Pearl City. They all sacrifice and dedicate their time, resources, and energy to give back to our community. Lincoln Ashida, Ken Suinaga, Coach Suinaga, nominated by Pearl City Swift Club, Mark Engler, nominated by Charmaine Duran, and Mr. Zakahi, nominated by Elaine Funakoshi. Congratulations to these nominees, and we'd like to extend a mahalo to their families as well, because we all know it's a group effort whenever you have these amazing volunteers. Back to you.
Thank you, Representative Takumi. You cut out a little bit. There was a little bit of a signal drop there. So let me just repeat. Jonelle Chun was nominated by Charmaine Duran, and Kelsey Poaha nominated by Lincoln Ashida. I think those were the two names that kind of dropped off. So I just wanted to reiterate those. Thank you so much. And okay, so let's pause actually for a brief musical interlude from one of our local artists, a singer par excellence. She actually has a long history of wonderful performances, her name including the lead role in Miss Saigon in Germany. And she's raising her family in Aiea. She has her own music studio and holds concerts to raise funds for mentally challenged individuals. So she herself living a life of community service, the incomparable Christian Lay.
Senator Misalucha asked me to sing this song because it's one of her favorites. And I think it's so appropriate because it represents what she stands for. Here is Because I Have Been Given Much. Because I have been given much, I too must give. Because of thy great bounty, Lord, each day I live, I shall divide my gifts from thee with every brother that I see who has the need of help from me. Because I have been shelter fed by thy good care, I cannot see another's lack, and I not share my glowing fire, my loaf of bread, my roof safe shelter overhead, that he too may be comforted. Because I have been
Wow, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much to Christian Lay for sharing that with us. Now it's time for the highlight of our event. Let's start with Pearl City. Please welcome Representative Greg Takayama, who will introduce this year's award recipients.
Well, thank you very much, Annalisa, and aloha to everyone. Pearl City's Outstanding Volunteer was nominated by an outstanding volunteer in his own right, Pearl City Neighborhood Board Chair Larry Veray. Now, Elizabeth Vann has been a resident of Pearl City for about half a century, and her day job is as a bus driver, but her life job is as a community volunteer. She's helped raise money for football uniforms for Pearl City teams, and she's volunteered for almost 2 decades at the Sunset Memorial Park Cemetery. She's led dozens of other volunteers in bagging and hauling away hundreds of bags of trash from the cemetery, and donated lunch bentos to those community volunteers as well. I'm proud to recognize a community hero for Pearl City, Elizabeth Vann.
Aloha, ladies and gentlemen. Aloha kako, everyone. My name is Elizabeth. I go by the name of Maka, and I am honored and humbled to be here and a part of this. I didn't know anything like this existed, so when Senator Misalucha contacted me, I was pretty much in awe and very humble and honored. So anyway, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone. Yeah. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for letting me be of service first and foremost. I'm a longtime resident of Pearl City. My sister graduated the first class in '74. I graduated '87. I have children and grandchildren who attended schools in Pearl City. Yeah, so we're pretty well-rounded here. I take a lot of pride in where I'm from, and Sunset Memorial was a topic that when I had seen last May on social media that needed attention. And so I was honored to be able to call out to people, friends that become family, to come help, come kokua. June 20th was our first cleanup, and then this past April 10th was our second cleanup. So with that being said, I'd like to tell Senator Misalucha mahalo very much. Thank you for showing up and introducing yourself to me. It was an honor to meet you, as well as Mr. Larry Veray from Pearl City Neighborhood Board. Thank you for reaching out and letting me be of service. And to our servicemen and women of Pearl Harbor Navy, Hawaii, and Schofield Barracks, mahalo for your service, coming out and giving us manpower. Our veterans also that faithfully suit up and show up there every weekend to clean up their love, clean up around the grounds there. I'm just gonna roll out a bunch of gratefuls right now, you know, to my family, to my children, Darius Vann, the owner of Lamont's Landworks, and Derek, the monkey man who came out with his chipper to chip away the debris and everything else. Also, Maureen Andrade, who has been a great resource of support. Mahalo and thank you for being part of this team. Mostly foremost, Daryl Salvador, you know, mahalo for allowing me to be part of Naohana of Sunset Memorial. Yeah, I've learned a lot from this man, and it just started off, and it's still gonna continue on as being a volunteer. My parents taught me, when you see something that needs to be done, you go do it. Yeah, and I carry that value and I teach that to my children. More so, I just want to shout out aloha to Maka and Kobihiga. Yeah, that's my junior and freshman sons who attend Pearl City High School. You know, they came with me and they walked around the neighborhood, going to meet businesses, going to meet the people in the community, letting them know that we need help. Yeah, and we see that it needs help here to be cleaned up. So they stepped up to the plate. They passed out flyers, you know, and this is the message that we carry out today. You know, it's all about kokua. Yeah, it's all about help. You know, you do it from the heart, and that's what my parents taught me. That's what I teach my kids, and that's what I like to reflect out. Yeah, with the people that I interact with. So with saying that, I'm really honored and I'm happy. Oh, another person I want to shout out to is Matt Tafate'e, the First Lap program, who brought his men out there on the days that we weren't even there to come clean up. And they continue to show up also. There's so many people I could say thank you to, but I just like to tell everybody on this forum right now, this is something new for me. I've never been honored like this. I thank my employer for making a time out for me that I could be present to receive this award. And with that, aloha.
Mahalo so much, and congratulations, Elizabeth. Yes, a round of applause from everyone here. And I did have the pleasure of meeting her, and yeah, amazing work when I went out and saw the community service cleanup led by that group over at Sunset Memorial Park. And I got so many letters and emails from viewers who had family buried there, and they just appreciate all the great work that you guys do to make that cemetery just special, especially after it's been in disrepair and abandoned. So mahalo again and congratulations. Okay, so now let's move to Aiea. Let's listen to Representative Aaron Ling Johansson as he shares what makes our Aiea community hero special.
Thank you, Annalisa, and thank you all for being here. I'll never forget when the new Aiea Library was dedicated. I was struck by one resonant theme that every single politician mentioned when we were dedicating it. It was Governor Abercrombie at the time who credited our next award winner, then Senator Ige, who credited the next award winner, the late Congressman Mark Takai, and so on and so forth. And I thought to myself, well, clearly everybody recognizes who is in charge in Aiea. And nothing could be more true. I think we are all inspired by her continued service, whether it's head of the Aiea Community Association or running the Aiea Pony League or making the world go around at the Aiea Honganji with the preschool and every activity there. There's almost nothing in Aiea that goes on without the love and serving hands of our next award winner, Claire Tamamoto. So she is an amazing community resource. Just truly, many refer to her as sort of the mayoress of Aiea. That's what I call her, but I'm not alone. So without further ado, it's an honor and a privilege to introduce our next award winner and our friend, Claire Tamamoto.
Claire, you need to unmute.
I know. So thank you, Aaron, for the great introduction. Now you got me so touched that I can't do my speech, right? So I wanted to thank, let's say I had to write a script so I would not talk too long, but I wanted to thank all Senator Misalucha and all the representatives and senators that put this award together to recognize community volunteers, because there always are so many unsung heroes in our community. I wanted to recognize and thank KANU Hawaii for taking the time to review the applications or the honorary, the nominations and making your selection. I would like to also extend a thank you to Kehaulani Lam, who had nominated me. And I just left her at the fish pond a little while ago. So to start off, you'd like to start with the Japanese phrase, Okange sama de. And it truly expresses my feelings. when I think about who to thank and how to convey that thank you, I want to be able to say that you have all been, everybody in my community has been part of my journey. And I am who I am because of all of the people I've come into contact with and had the joy of working with. And I have to do this up front because I always forget, but I'd like to say a special thank you to my family. I have to recognize my husband, Warren, of I think 45 plus years. I think I lost count somewhere along the line there, but I spent so little time with him. He says it's just like 25. It's not very much, many years at all. But, you know, I can do the things I do because he's allowed me to do it. And not I don't have to ask permission. I just do it. And he never grumbles too much. I mean, he's really very supportive. I want to thank my parents who gave me such a rich history of volunteerism. I want to thank my siblings, and I would especially like to thank my children. I have 3 children, Brent, Craig, and Allison. They have most of the things I initially got involved in was because of them. And yet then I continued because you just do. That's just one of the things you do once you start something in the community. So them, and now I have 3 grandchildren to be very thankful for and to continue community work. In addition, I have been so lucky to be surrounded by so many organizations that I've come to consider my family. My Honganji family represents so many of my experiences and learning moments. It has enriched my life. I've been enriched by the experiences and moments. Truly, the basic of the Dharma teachings have helped me guide my life. The dana, or the giving back, the selfless giving, compassion, perseverance are just a few to mention. The Honganji youth organizations that I participate with have given me the opportunity to share Buddhist teachings with our future leaders of the world, and hopefully they will have a great impact on society. I want to say a special thank you to my Aiea Community Association family. For over 20 plus years, they have been my quote unquote partners in crime. We have been able to accomplish many things in our community, and there are still more to come. Some of these experiences have shown us the imperfection of life. It is just those challenges that have made us grow as individuals and become stronger partners to fight for our community. Life's impermanence reminds us that that those who are no longer with us also helped in our fight. In addition, there are family friends who cannot be here to celebrate. But I am here because of them, Okage-sama de. So to each of my relationships and treasured friends, you are forever a part of my life. I want you to all know that you have touched me in some way, and I will always treasure, and you will always have a special place in my heart. This honor I have is because of all of you, and with deep gratitude, thank you.
Mahalo, Claire, or shall I say Mayoress?
No.
Claire. Thank you again for your service, and for both of you, just inspiring to see just a lot of the selfless work you do out in our communities.
Thank you.
And so just to remind everyone, this is our inaugural event for a volunteer week culminating event. Please note that they will have an in-person presentation for the winners. They will be receiving a certificate from the House of Representatives, a certificate from the State Senate, plus $500 from KANU Hawaii, which will be donated to the nonprofit of their choice. So paying it forward, giving and giving, moving on. As you can imagine, it is really tough to be a judge for this award. So many unsung heroes out there in the community. But of course, all of these nominees have good hearts, but they have criteria for this specific award. So to talk about that, as well as introduce our judges, please welcome Councilmember Brandon Elefante.
Before I introduce the judges, let's give a virtual round of applause to our host and moderator and MC, Annalisa.
Oh, thank you, Council Member. My pleasure.
Thank you, Annalisa. KANU Hawaii administered the selection process and chose a panel of esteemed judges who delved into entry nomination forms. The panel included founding member KANU Hawaii, James Koshiba, KHON TV's Kamaka Pili, and Na Hoku Hano Hano award winner Myla Gibson, who all volunteered their time to read the entries. Judging was based on a set of criteria, including the effectiveness, scope, and amount of time dedicated to their volunteer efforts. Mahalo to all our judges for their work, and congratulations to Claire and Maka.
All right, thank you so much, Councilmember Elefante. And again, tough job to be a judge here. So many great nominees. And of course, our final part of this program is a recognition to KANU Hawaii from the State Senate. Let's welcome back Senator Misalucha.
Aloha again. Thank you, Annalisa, for doing such a fantastic job. I just wanted to say that on behalf of the State Senate, we would like to commend KANU Hawaii for its incredible work in organizing Volunteer Hawaii Week 2021. With all the demands posed by the pandemic, KANU was able to still organize these events in an appropriate way. Surely our island state has been blessed by the spirit of service that gives us hope about the future. Mahalo, KANU, for showing us the way. So we will be presenting the certificate to Keone in a very near future. So congratulations, KANU Hawaii, for such a fantastic Volunteer Hawaii Week. Aloha.
Yeah, thank you very much, Senator, and the rest of the Senate for the recognition. And likewise, I'd like to recognize the folks that are actually hosting the events, the hundreds of nonprofits that are across all of our islands and our communities across Hawaii, and to the volunteers and all the people who showed up to help support them. It's an essential part of our community fabric. It's an essential part of what we are the caretakers of, which is aloha. And the more we can get out and practice it, the better. And this is just one week where we can do that in celebration of National Volunteer Week here locally through Volunteer Week Hawaii. So again, don't wait a year to volunteer, but if we don't see you till next year, I hope to see you out there. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Mahalo, Kaneohe. I was gonna say the spirit of Volunteer Week, as we talked about in our interview, is not just for a week, but a lifestyle and attitude. And I wanted to congratulate again Claire Tamamoto and Elizabeth Maka, as well as all of the nominees, because they really embody the spirit of aloha, that, you know, it's selflessness and love for the Aina. And it's a busy time. We always cover, especially in news, really sad things that are happening and devastation. But to see a lot of this positivity, this love, it's wonderful to see. And I, as a reporter, appreciate that. So thank you to all of you for all the great work that you do. Senator Misalucha's office, of course, Keone Kealoha of KANU Hawaii again, and for all this great work, as well as the many, many communities. This is just the first year of this, but I'd love to see how this event expands to all of our communities across the islands. We will, again, launch their own search next year, all of these communities, and recognize their own community heroes. So great way to set the precedent for future community awards to come. And again, my name is Annalisa Burgos, wishing you all a wonderful evening. I will see you bright and early for Good Morning Hawaii at 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. We will acknowledge our winners, of course, on the show as well. And aloha.
Aloha. Thank you, Annalisa.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Aloha. Have a nice evening.
Okay, how are you? Still at the fish pond?
Oh, I ran home. It's behind me.
Aloha, Kehao.
Aloha, mahalo nui.
Take
Thank
care.
you so
Mahalo,
much,
everyone.
Sorry, Bennette, when are you going to share the video so we can, sorry,
Yeah.
my logistics for me, for my
Yeah,
show.
so as soon as this is gets digested and whatever, I'm gonna send you the link, and
Okay.
you can get the clips for your newscast.
Okay, wonderful.
All right.
All right.
Mahalo, everyone.
Mahalo.
Take care.
Mahalo.
Thank you.